charges. In fact, I've had a statement through from Rosemary Ainsley, the head of specialist crime at the Crown Prosecution Service. She says, following a referral of evidence by the Metropolitan Police related to the death of Sarah Everard, the CPS has authorised the police to charge Wayne Couzens with murder and kidnapping. He will appear, the statement goes on to say, at Westminster Magistrates Court tomorrow, the 13th of March, for this first hearing. That it will be a routine first hearing at a magistrates court.
On the 3rd of March 2021, Sarah Everard was last seen at 9:30 p.m. having walked through Clapham Common. She was kidnapped, raped and murdered by 48-year-old Met Police officer Wayne Couzens. Despite the diversity of the city, a hate crime was committed and premeditated with little provocation other than Sarah's gender. Due to Couzens' position as a police officer, the abduction itself took less than 5 minutes, with witnesses believing he was fulfilling his role as a public servant, having arrested Everard on the basis of breaking COVID-19 restrictions. Couzens handcuffed Everard, then drove the hired car to Dover, where he strangled her with his police belt, proceeding to rape her. Couzens was sentenced to whole life tariffs, with the ruling stemming from his abuse as a public servant. Since Sarah's death, many more women have come forward reporting cases of both harassment and assault prior to the murder. When prosecuting, mens rea is a core concept as it underpins premeditation in an act of violence, leading to more severe legal sentencing. Whilst his female victim was not selected, Couzens had visited London on differing occasions during COVID patrols. He had hired a car, bought self-adhesive film, all to prepare for his attack. It is important to note that a hate crime is classed by if an offender has either demonstrated hostility based on race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, or transgender identity. Misogyny, by definition, is the hatred of women based solely on their gender. This case is a clear demonstration of hostility based on gender. The case resulted in both public and online uproar, particularly amongst young women. Most famously, at Clapham Common, people came out to protest in memory of Sarah Everard despite COVID-19 restrictions in place. The discontent was not limited to the public, but permeated to MPs, with Stella Creasy pushing the cause of including misogyny as a hate crime. Whilst under current UK law, gender and sex are not included as a characteristic of a hate crime, the agenda to change this has been pushed. For example, with 7 police forces around the country, most famously the Nottingham Pilot, recommendations in 2020 from the Law Commission, and highlighted misogyny within the Met Police as seen in the Baroness Casey Review of 2023. The high-profile nature of the case reached the commentary of then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, whose comments neglected the idea that women's safety was not already being tackled. Statements such as the one shown not only diminished the issue of violence against women, but encouraged the rhetoric that this is not a gender-divisive issue. The case demonstrated ingrained prejudices not just against women, but also other characteristics that hate crime laws do not cover. This was clear in Couzens' attempt to initially lie about his role in the murder by claiming Sarah had been a sex worker, which an Eastern European gang had demanded him to deliver to them. Changes after Sarah Everard's death saw some government investments orientated around street safety in general, rather than focusing on specifically the issue of women's safety and misogyny. Instead, a number of inquiries were launched, most famously the Angiolini inquiry and the Baroness Casey Review, which provided recommendations on tackling indecent exposure and preventing discrimination and harassment of women in the Met, respectively. Couzens was sentenced to whole life tariffs, with the ruling stemming from his abuse as a public servant. Since Sarah's death, many more women have come forward reporting cases of both harassment and assault prior to the murder.